John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This is the big one. This is the reason why WWE brought in Brock Lesnar. If you go in right after WrestleMania 28, WWE should have been fired on all cylinders, having one of the biggest main events of a WrestleMania that they've had in years and years. Definitely the build for WrestleMania 28. Everybody knew that it was going to be a big one. Rock versus Cena. Bringing back one of the biggest, stars WWE's ever had, let alone one of the biggest stars in the world. One of the highest paid actors there is in Hollywood, bringing his skills back to the WWE, hosting a WrestleMania in, his own hometown there in Miami. What was that? Sun Life Stadium, I think is what it was called, the home of the Miami Dolphins. I believe at one point the Florida Marlins even played there, if I remember right. I wish I wouldn't have gotten to the WrestleMania 28 a little bit late. I wish I would have, taken more time to take in, what that place had to offer. One thing led to another. We got stuck in traffic coming from, we left WrestleMania Access. We had to go pick up our buddy Kevin, who got left behind at WrestleMania 28. As access, and then we had to head all the way out to Fort Lauderdale, and we had to get there, and basically we had to park the car in the farthest parking lot away from the arena. Then we ran in. I didn't even get to see, the columns that snake around the side. I remember looking at those in pictures and just thinking those are like some of the coolest outside stadiums of all time. And I know some people who can remember watching my videos back from WrestleMania 28 time, thinking of, me and my group of friends walking around and around the arena, lost, trying to find our car, why I couldn't soak in the moment then instead of earlier, was just, being worn out from the show, sort of being concerned, not knowing where the car was, sort of being concerned that we didn't... we didn't know where the hell we were. I guess, we were lost. We didn't even notice that we walked around the stadium 3 times. That's how big that place was. We just kept on going around and around. But basically, when you sat in your seat and you looked back, that was the largest swarm of people that I've ever been in. The way that stadium is set up like a bowl, it looked like the last row was honestly sitting right behind you, but you could definitely tell the mass amounts of people between you and the last row. Or I'm sure if you were in the last row looking all the way down towards the ring, it probably looked like if you stood up, you were going to topple down and you weren't going to stop until you hit the ring. It was one of the biggest masses of people that I've ever been in. We go from there over to Monday Night Raw, and Brock Lesnar debuts on the scene, walks right down to the ring, and gives John Cena an F5. The F5 heard round the world would set up their big brawl on Monday Night Raw the next week, which set up their Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules pay-per-view that year. I guess that would be 2012. And from there, Brock Lesnar had peaked until he came to WrestleMania 30 2 years later, beats The Undertaker in the middle of nowhere, becomes the 1-21. And all of a sudden, all is erased. Everything from the losses to Triple H, the loss to John Cena, no one really remembers. I never had a chance to go back and watch that CM Punk match, but I've heard from some people that match is really, really good. But to me, I just hadn't seen what Brock Lesnar had to offer, But Brock shows up this year at SummerSlam, coming off the big win at WrestleMania. He goes 20 minutes with John Cena, just honestly dominating him. Hits him with an F5 seconds into the match. He hits him with 16 German suplexes. He hits him with another F5 to make 2 of them. And pins John Cena right there in the middle of the ring. There wasn't any Hulk Hogan type of finish where basically Cena had his foot up on the ropes or Cena kicked out at the 3.1 mark. It just was Cena got beat. And it wasn't even that he got beat, he got whooped. And basically, they go to the next night at Monday Night Raw, and Cena's selling his injuries. He's not there, and everybody's wondering what's going to happen, or what is going to happen when Monday Night Raw comes around next week. Is Cena going to quit wrestling? Is Cena going to walk away? And lick his wounds and just say that he's too beat up and he can't beat Brock right now, and he needs to go out to the woodshed and think up his next plan about what he's going to do. But Triple H shows up on Main Event, which is the Tuesday show if you don't watch it on the WWE Network, and just says that John Cena is asked to to use his rematch clause, and they're going to just say the rematch is going to happen at Night of Champions. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the second time, or I guess you could say the fourth time if you count the Extreme Rules match, or if you count the payback? No, not payback. What the hell did they used to call those? Backlash. I believe it was Backlash after WrestleMania 19. I think Cena's the guy who got the first title shot up against it. You can definitely check that out on the network if you haven't seen it. It's definitely weird. Brock Lesnar is the babyface, John Cena is the heel, but it's definitely a match played out the same way, where Cena won't quit his fight. He's still the same character that he is now than he is then, other than he doesn't rap his promos anymore. And you almost feel sorry for him during the match because he gets his ass kicked so bad. But Cena, to me, honestly, the announcers, I don't know if it's been said that the announcers are being told what to say because of the authority, or, if it's just what they honestly believe. But, they've brought, wrestlers, not even just wrestlers, they've brought, legends. Hulk Hogan said that he thought Cena could do it, but right there in the center of the ring, right to his face, Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels told John Cena, you don't have what it takes to beat this man. Just, that's it. You're a great superstar. You're a legend. You're a future Hall of Famer. You're a 15-time champion, whatever it is. But you're not going to beat this guy. And I don't know who WWE thinks is going to beat Brock if it's not going to be him. Some people have said that, his next set of matches are going to be against the Big Show. Don't make me laugh. There's nobody in the world that wants to see Brock Lesnar versus the Big Show. They already wasted Big Show's return, putting him in a tag match with Mark Henry, teaming him up. Big Show's big goal in life was to become tag team champion once again, thinking that was going to be a big deal to add to his whole thing. There's not anybody out there except for some little kid cheering in his seat, just happy to be in a Monday Night Raw, that is excited about any Brock Lesnar match against the Big Show. I mean, there's only a few guys in WWE's roster that they can have a believable match against Brock, unless they really pull out some wild card. I know that, there was that joke of a Hulk Hogan versus Brock Lesnar match with that TMZ got started. We've already seen the Cena match. I don't think there's a way you can bring back Triple H. I thought I had a pretty good storyline of Brock Lesnar just walking off after winning the titles, and basically Triple H has to go get the championship back, and that sort of makes him a contender to go up against him. But there's, Roman Reigns, who's not there yet, and there's Rock, and he's out making movies right now. There's nobody else under the WWE roster that has a chance to do it. John Cena, in my mind, either two things are going to happen. What I want to happen, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, is that basically John Cena is going to beat Brock Lesnar. 1, 2, 3. He's going to overcome the odds. He's going to, prove all those announcers, all those doubters, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar himself, anybody else along the way, that, he can beat anybody. He's been the best for so long. And if they're going to, just straight up bury John Cena, I know that they can pick up the pieces and they can have him beat anybody else down the road. But, back to the point, who else is there? There's nobody. I mean, they've already killed off a Cesaro match by making him look weak after he left Paul Heyman, instead of having him be real strong and try and go up against Paul Heyman himself and have that be the storyline. You can't do Roman, he's not ready. Big Show, nobody cares about. Mark Henry, nobody cares about. They would have been good feeder matches to get him ready for a championship run, because he broke their arms back in January when he was asking for a championship match and nobody in WWE would listen to him. But I don't know, man. I think Cena's going to beat him. And I've heard other people in the wrestling game think that Cena's going to beat him as well, just because I don't see them, pushing Cena down. If Cena was going to lose, they would be saying, basically he's the last chance of the company. If he can't do it, nobody can. And then all of a sudden when he loses, then you really get this feeling in your stomach of John Cena didn't do it. We don't have a hero. Who is going to step up for us? Because as of right now, we're being ruled by the bad guys. They're taking over. We're being invaded, and it's not good. They took our belt, and we don't have anybody who's got a chance to beat this guy. There's a pit in my stomach that thinks that basically, I know that they've gone in and they said that, Brock Lesnar has retooled his contract, and they can use him almost like per diem, a set amount. You can use him on Monday Night Raw, you can use him on main event, you can use him on SmackDown, you can use him on pay-per-views. It doesn't matter. You just pay him to show up, and he'll be there. It's not the old deal that they had where it was just basically, we'll tell you how many days a year you get, and you can plan those out however many you want to, but you don't get any more, and if you use less, you're just screwed. You just wasted money. That was the way the old deal was. But I don't believe that Brock is going to fight 3 months in a row. And I know a lot of people have this goal of Brock Lesnar getting all the way to WrestleMania, being the champion. And I know you don't need to have the title on every show. They made it the Night of Champions. It wasn't the best run, and I think it was a lot because they didn't know what to do without having a champion there. And it's so easy when you do have a champion to put him out there in a match against anybody. Doesn't matter if it's John Cena against Biggie Langston, John Cena against Dolph Ziggler, John Cena against The Miz. At least you have a championship match. At least you get to see your champion, and everybody goes home happy. But I think that they painted themselves in a corner because they're building towards the main event, and they only have one of the guys there, and the other guy's not coming for weeks. I think that drew them a blank in WWE. A side story to this is that at the pit of my stomach, I don't think Brock's going to work Hell in a Cell. So I could see a guy like Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is the guy that John Cena a few weeks ago destroyed him and his brothers on Monday Night Raw. It was a 6-man match, but it might as well have been 3-on-1. And Cena beat him up, left him laying there in the ring. And then we come to this week of Monday Night Raw, and the Wyatt family takes out the Big Show. And I don't think they're leading towards, Bray Wyatt versus the Big Show as a pre-show match for Night of Champions. I think that was mostly to make the Wyatts look strong, to where Bray Wyatt can run out during this match, whether if Cena hasn't won or if Cena doesn't have it won at all, and attack John Cena, setting up the Hell in a Cell match, finishing off their WrestleMania feud, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. This is something that I don't want to see, but it is definitely something that I could see happening. I would not be surprised if that is what is going to happen. That's definitely going to leave everybody with a big, sad face. But, that's what happens. I mean, if it was just, WWF in your house as the next pay-per-view, they could do whatever they wanted to. But they've already sold tickets. They've already told everybody the advertising's already out. WWE Hell in a Cell is going to happen. And what other feuds are out there that you can put in there? I don't think that Jericho's going to be there next month, so that crosses out Jericho versus Orton. Maybe Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins can go in there. Maybe if you bring all three of them and do it at a 3-way. But that seems a little weird to me, having the Shield go at it in there. Ziggler versus Miz is a series of matches that have gone on, but you really gonna have a Hell in a Cell over an IC strap match? I don't think so. So they're gonna have a lot of stuff to figure out. My prediction is Cena winning it. Let me know what your predictions is, and thank you everybody for checking it out. We had a ton of fun doing the Night of Champions full show preview. Hope you guys liked it on STS Radio, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see you in some more videos. Peace out.